happening, Broncos? It's Danielle Shenk as always, and welcome to another episode of your favorite and only Hastings College news program, CTV. Not that you need any more motivation ahead of this extended weekend, but as of today, we are officially under a month away from graduation for you seniors. Make this last month count, and remember, you've got this. Starting off CTV, we have a student favorite as Mr. and Mrs. Bronco happened last Friday at the French Memorial Chapel. A night of laughter and talent was kicked off by the usual MC of the event, Fritz Mountford, giving a rundown of what was to come, while cracking a few jokes here and there. The night's rundown went as usual, a dress competition followed by a varying question given to the contestants that they all must answer on the spot, and finishing off with the talent portion of the event. 4 judges decided who was the best out of each category. Graduate Assistant Human Performance Coach Travis Agaga, Transition Specialist Emily Dunbar, Resident Director of Taylor Hall Laura Arnold, and Resident Director of both Babcock and Bronco Hall Jesse Hellinger. Poor Jesse. The dress competition kicked things off with all types of wild attire while students proceeded to get roasted by Mountford. From a drunk apartment student to a chicken costume, a volleyball player, a physics major, an HC tour guide, and 2 contestants bringing flags onto the stage, one to represent the LGBT community while the other representing the contestants' Irish heritage. After the contestants strutted their outfits on stage, they went back to change into a different outfit, still representing their organization. Upon returning, they were asked a random question, from what the purpose in life is to what the campus will remember you for.
Partially think of this right now. Business in the front and in the back.
Worst name for a child to where you see yourself in 45 years.
That's an easy question with 45 dogs.
And what the contestant's spirit animal is to what the contestant would do if they woke up and they were 600 pounds.
We got initially yes, and then find a big gigantic hill, and then roll down, and possibly accidentally run over a few kids, or I don't know.
Finally, the talent portion where all of the contestants showed off their various talents and skills. A raunchy stand-up routine kicked things off while others recreated dance scenes, did card tricks, perform science experiments, and flip bottles. Freshman Tyler Diedrich even performed his own one act.
I'm here today to be your president. I believe I can transform this high school into a better place.
Senior John Roeder then brought the crowd to their feet after performing another incredible music piece, playing both the guitar and the keyboard at the same time. When everything was said and done, the judges tallied their scores, and while it was a tough competition between all the contestants, only 2 contestants would walk away crowned Mr. and Mrs. Bronco. Mr. Bronco went to Mr. Eta Phi Lambda Jr. Kevin Toner for his humor, great attire, and amazing card tricks.
It's feeling surreal at the moment. I still can't believe it, because there's a lot of other good talents there. So while I was waiting to hear whether or not I got Mr. Bronco, I was unsure if it was going to be me because of the amount of other talent there. And maybe it should have gone to someone else, but it went to me. So yeah, I feel great about it now. Yeah, and the money's gonna help me a lot. Not gonna lie.
While Miss Bronco went to Miss Physics, senior Lindsay Ruane, for her relatable attitude when it comes to schoolwork as well as her impressive science experiments.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. My only goal really was not to make a fool of myself, so this is step up from that.
While the title of Mr. and Mrs. Bronco wasn't already good enough, both contestants also walked away with $250. Always a fun activity as the school year gets closer to finishing out. While the judges were calculating their votes, it was officially announced that next year's Student Association president and vice president will be Dea and Dea Rogers, as they were the only two candidates running. The few votes needed to elect the candidates was done mere minutes after the email for voting went out. Once again, Dea and Rogers have 4 primary platforms that are a part of their campaign: improving grocery bag bingo, including moving it to a new location; creating an essay website with information on all events and how to contact members of the essay cabinet; improving lighting around campus; and implementing a reward system for students to attend on-campus events, trying to encourage student participation on campus. Engagement is a big issue that they bring up in their opinion piece written in the Collegian newspaper. Pick up your copy on campus to see just what they say in their first official statement as essay president and vice president. Earlier this April, the forensics team traveled to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to compete against 57 other schools in the National Forensics Tournament. After qualifying each member on the team for nationals earlier this season, the team brought 45 total events to Tuscaloosa to compete in. After finishing in the top 10 last season at nationals with an 8th place finish, there was a lot of pressure riding on the team to meet that top 10 finish mark again. And out of the 58 schools in the tournament, the Broncos succeeded in their goal of taking home a top 10 finish for the second year in a row, finishing 9th in the country. Along with that top 10 finish, the Broncos also had one member named an All-American at the tournament, and that was senior Carly Spotsville-Zone, who became just the 15th forensics All-American in the college's history. Spotsville-Zone broke into the quarterfinals with prose, semifinals with dramatic interpretation, program oral interpretation, and duo with junior Allie Kennan.
It was cool. It was, my 4 years in this activity or in college speech have been really great and fun and hard and a lot of work. So just to kind of have that, the cherry on top, I guess, of the cake and the bow on the present, it was a lovely kind of way to end it, I guess. Leave the activity with all that I could give it. So.
Kennan was also named as a national student representative to the American Forensics Association, the first representative on the national committee in Hastings College history. Kennan also broke into semifinals in prose. Other students with quarterfinal and semifinal performances include Courtney Hansen, who broke into the quarterfinals with poetry and prose and broke into the semifinals with program oral interpretation. Elizabeth Hansen broke into quarterfinals in impromptu speaking, while Melissa Loney broke into semifinals in communication analysis.
And so it's a really cool feat, Hastings being so small, placing so high. We're unequivocally one of the best small schools in the country, so defending that back-to-back was really cool. The moment when they called 11th place and it was not us was magical. My whole team kind of turned around and looked at each other with tears in their eyes, and it was a wonderful feeling because it was the culmination of a really long year of hard work.
A great way for this historic forensics team to cap off their season. With Kennan's historic selection to serve as a student representative for the American Forensics Association, she became one of 2 people on campus this month selected to serve as a national student representative. Kennan was a representative for her district going into nationals this year. She ran unopposed in her campaign for national representative. Kennan hopes that with this position, she will be able to make needed changes in order to ensure the safety and survival of students competing in forensics. And she shed light on the success of the HC forensics team. The second student this month to be selected as a national student representative was junior Jess Trad. Trad was selected to serve as a national representative for the High Plains region of the annual Sigma Tau Delta Conference, a national English honorary which Trad is the president of at HC's chapter. Trad was voted by her region and also became the first Hastings College student to be a representative at that conference. As part of the position, Trad will take part in monthly meetings, run social media pages, and write a blog on a given topic. She will be representing 5 to 6 states in order to share student suggestions and concerns. With this position, Trad hopes to start engagement from HC students for the conference. As summer is closing in, spring sports are beginning to wind down. And while multiple sports have found success this season, including track and both tennis teams, the Hastings College baseball team has struggled. As you may have seen on this week's edition of CTV Sports, the baseball team is currently sitting at a 7-25 record going into this weekend. Things aren't looking good for their chances to make it into the postseason conference tournament. A surprise for many, as typically the HC baseball team has sat in a much better position at this time in the year. Reporter Cameron Bradley tries to get some answers on baseball's struggles.
For the Hastings College baseball team, the 2019 season has been less than ideal. Holding a 7-25 record in the middle of April, and with just 8 GPAC games to go, the Broncos are in serious danger of missing the GPAC tournament for the first time since 2012 and for the first time in Coach Spongberg's career. Currently sitting at 10th in the GPAC standings, 8 games back from the 8th and final spot in the GPAC tournament.
Well, it obviously hasn't gone the way we'd hoped it to be, and there's a variety of reasons for that. The main one we're working on right now is we have a lot of inexperienced guys. We have kids that haven't had a lot of varsity experience, but at this point in time in the season, when you've played 25 ball games, you got to be better than what we've played.
A lot of challenges have come with having such a young team, starting 3 to 4 freshmen a game. And while that may be a problem this season, it could lead to the Broncos making strides in seasons to come.
Yeah, a lot of the struggles of this year is we just have a lot of inexperience. A lot of people don't have a whole lot of at-bats, a lot of innings on the mound. But next year we're basically returning almost everybody in the field and almost every pitcher we have. And so I think that's going to pay a lot of dividends.
With all the young athletes, Coach Spongberg still isn't quick to say that this is a rebuilding season.
And rebuilding is one that we had mentioned. We would like to say that, but I know when I came, we had hoped to get ourselves in a position where we could compete every single year. So this is certainly a step backwards for us.
For most teams, a season like this can separate the players, causing arguments and frustration. Not for the Broncos, though. The Broncos have instead decided to focus on each other, showing support rather than turning against each other.
Biggest thing about this team is we all love each other and we all have each other's backs. And even when things get down, we're always there supporting each other. And that's how good teams get out of bad situations.
We have about 3 weeks left in the season, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that if we got on a streak where we started to play better, that we could sneak into the conference tournament. We're going to have to play much better than we have up to this point.
For CTV Sports, this is Cameron Bradley reporting.
Thanks, Cam. It's Easter weekend, so while a lot of students might be headed home for the extended weekend, we know that some are still stuck on campus for this break. For those who find themselves in that situation, there are still some sporting events going on this weekend to go check out, as softball takes on Receiving Votes Concordia University in a big doubleheader on Saturday starting at 1 o'clock at the Smith Softball Complex, while men's and women's tennis host Midland in 2 big matches at the tennis courts starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday as well. So go cheer on your fellow Broncos this weekend if you're still in town. As far as weather goes this weekend, it should be another beautiful one, as today we're seeing highs climb to 66 degrees with the clear skies and only a slight breeze out of the northwest before temperatures drop to 44 degrees tonight. Tomorrow will be the best weather we'll have, as it'll be another clear day with a high of 81 degrees, a perfect day to just get out of the house and enjoy the spring weather that we're finally getting. Temperatures will drop down to 51 degrees on Saturday night. Increased cloud coverage will come along on Easter Sunday with highs reaching 69 degrees and chances for thunderstorms, while those chances will increase overnight up to 50% with temperatures dipping to a cool 46 degrees. That's all I've got for you today in Studio A at the Gray Center. Make sure to check out the Collegian newspaper published today for more stories around campus. The Collegian can be picked up almost anywhere on campus, or you can check it out online. Also, don't forget to look at the Collegian social media pages for chances to win Bronco Blend gift cards and updates on stories here at HC. For the rest of the Collegian staff, I'm Danielle Shenk, and we'll see you next time.